This is Fast and Furious, a place where epic fails flourish. I show you the mistakes made by others so that you don't do the same. Hey guys, MiracleMAX here. Today it's going to be about 37 degrees. So I'm in the workshop working on a vehicle doing a service, and I thought I'd drag out the camera simply because I feel very confident about this Fast and Furious coming up. I haven't checked the pollen filter, but I feel very confident that no one else has either. What's a pollen filter, I hear you ask? Let's find out. The pollen or cabin filter is kept right here inside the cabin. It's designed to keep away all air pollutants from inside the passenger cabin. It's very similar to an air filter for the engine, but it's designed for the passengers themselves. So where's it kept? It can be kept in a variety of places, but generally near the glove box. Let's have a look at this one. This is a 2010 Mitsubishi Triton, and as you can see, I've dropped the glove box down at the moment. So in behind the glove box is a plastic cover that needs to be removed as well. I'll pull that out next, and then we can get to the pollen filter. When you're removing the glove box and trying to access the pollen filter or cabin filter, these use an added security system because you're actually dealing near a plug that deals with the airbag. So these actually use just your normal key. It goes from the on position to the off position, and that will make it isolated, so you could remove the plug if necessary. I just removed this one off the back here. That wasn't an issue. Now, why do I feel so confident that this pollen filter hasn't been replaced? Let's put some light on this subject, shall we? If we have a look at the genuine article, these here, you actually have to cut with a blade to get them out. So this hasn't been replaced. The new ones screw in here, and of course over the other side over here, but the first ones you've actually got to cut to get them out, so this hasn't been replaced from new. Oh goody. So Fast and Furious, you understand how I feel. Okay, as you can see, I've cut away one of the sections of the pod filter cover, and here's the other section, but what do you notice? Where the hell is the pollen filter? You know, this is just bizarre. So from new, this has done 16,000 clicks, something along those lines. This has never ever had a pod filter installed in it from new. Now, that's not an issue, is it? Well, let's have a look at the service record, shall we? So this is photocopied straight out of the customer's logbook, their service records in the car. And if we have a look down the bottom here, what's it say? Pollen filter, okay? That's the thing we're looking at. How often should it be inspected? Every 6 months or 7,500 kilometers as required. So it's now 2017. It's a 2010 model, so that's 7 years. So it should have been checked 14 times. Has it been checked once? No, I don't think so, Tim. If you're going to service a person's car, do it properly from day one. Imagine all the dust, and these people live out in a farm property, so all the dust and leaves and all that sort of stuff is coming directly into the cabin. That's what a pollen filter or a cabin filter is designed to protect the customer from, or the passengers from. So let's put in some effort, let's put in a new one for them so that we do their service properly. Another vehicle that I was working on recently was serviced from new at the dealership. When I got it, the cabin filter had never ever been replaced. Here's an example of what it might have looked like. Not only does it take away from the freshness of the air within the cabin, keeping out the dust and the pollen, etc., but also it puts a lot of stress on the blower motor. The evaporator it blocks up, it slows down the air conditioning cooling system through the evaporator, and other issues that might arise. So replace your pollen filter. This is the pollen filter, nice and clean and shiny, and this is where it goes. So this is how you put it in. As simple as that. Screw here, job's done. This is purely Fast and Furious bait in my opinion. If you're going to service a car, do it properly. Here's some extra coin in your pocket, and then you've got a satisfied customer to boot. And of course, one final thing to do before you can call it done and dusted is to turn that airbag back in the on position. That's now secure, and ready to go. So here's another example of poor quality workmanship. I'm working on a 2010 Ford Focus. I'm doing the cabin filter or pollen filter. To access the pollen filter, you need to pull down the fuse box, which is it pivots down like this, and then you can pull it out of a hinged area. Then you've got to pull off this little flap here, which houses the pollen filter. See that empty cavity? Well, that's how I found it. There's actually no pollen filter in there at all. Looks like someone's just pulled it out, left it out. So once again, that's what ticks me about people not putting in pollen filters, because I mean, you're making some money out of it yourself, you're doing the right thing by the customer, and yet people just leave them out. Here's an example of what a pollen filter should be doing. Case in point is a 2012 Honda Civic. If we drop down the glove box, we can access it from behind that. It's tucked in neatly behind this little cover here, so all we have to do is remove that, get that out of place, and the pollen filter is exposed. Let's pull it out and have a look inside. There's an example of what you should find in a pollen filter. That protects you, the person inside the cabin, from all the particulates, leaves, dust, dirt, all that sort of stuff from coming inside the cabin. But clearly this one here is ready for replacement. Here's another design of a pollen filter. I'm looking at a BA Falcon. I've removed the glove box completely, and in behind we have a sliding door that will pull out. But have a look at what they've chosen, good old Ford, have chosen to use as a pollen filter. It's more like a sieve, isn't it? All it does is strain out the big bits. So of course all the dust etc. goes straight into the cabin, into your lungs. Fortunately, you can get aftermarket stuff that will replace this particular unit, the genuine unit, with a correct style pollen filter, so install that. Official Fast and Furious rant over. You know the drill from here. Subscribe to the channel, give it a like, comment down below. Don't have any more time to chat. Got to get back into the rest of the service. This is MiracleMAX signing off. Catch you later, guys.